All right, what is happening, everybody? Welcome to the Greatest Game Studio. And this is going to be a happy birthday to America, Biscuits style. What's up, Biscuits?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Doing good, man. All new setup. First one over on the YouTube. At Still Not Crazy, you were the first one to ever post over on the GG Co. YouTube. So what is up? We got some cool stuff for you. We're going to go through some of the new stuff for the website, announce a few things, have some fun, and welcome everybody that's joining us on this simulcast. So I know some of you are going to be over on like the Rumble and stuff like that, but if you can migrate over to the new YouTube and set it up, that'd be freaking sick. What's up, Valerie? What's up, Stack Brawley? What's up, Coley? Monica's in the house. Still Not Crazy. Aim Kirk. What is happening? Charlie in the house. What is going on, everybody? We're excited to hang out with you all for a bit and show you some new things. And for those of you that are on the website, there's that. And then we got a couple special things that'll come in this presentation and then this video a little bit later. Is there anything you wanted to say before we go to the next part?
No, I mean, you know, like you say, just trying to get, we're trying to get the GG Co YouTube and social media stuff stood up, and we appreciate everybody's support. If you can go over there and you know, say something in the chat over there, I'm going to keep track of everybody that shows up in the GG Co YouTube chat for some prizes towards the end of the show. So
yes,
people like prizes.
Prizes. Right. You guys should get excited.
What's Contraband.
Up? Contraband. Hey-oh! We're going to have some fun. What's up, Dawn? Yes, Miss Coney's made it over. Sweet. Anybody can come over. There'll be some prizes, and it'll help support the channel, and we'll get this thing boosted up. You guys have already been such a support. This is like a community effort, building this website and having this offering. And for a good old happy birthday, America, what better than being able to maybe expose some crimes, some corruption, and perhaps call for some truth and justice in a fun way. What's happening, Monica? I appreciate your memes. They're freaking awesome. Let's get to it. We got a little slide deck here to give you guys an idea of what's coming up, and I'll bring this up onto the screen and let Biscuits walk us through it. Here we go.
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, look, you know, so we launched the website, as people may know. So anybody, you can go there. If you're a donor, you should already have gotten your access emails. Obviously, anybody can email me at info@getgg.co if there's been any issues with that. And you know, as we go on throughout the slide deck, you know, we're going to talk about what's there and what's on the way. But I don't know. I think we're pretty pumped about it. We're pretty excited, and I appreciate everyone's patience so far, because it has been kind of it's a little slow getting this thing up and running, but I think now we've got it to the point where we can add to it. Well, we can add to it without causing anybody that's using it any issues, for sure. So,
right, and just know, like, I mean, Biscuits is doing a heck of a job getting this all put together, and the website will be there'll be so many things that we have in the works. It'll be added, but then there'll be, you know, just like anything else, there'll be little road bumps, if you will, or little things that we'll fix as we go and tweak and improve. But what we're going to show you tonight will be really fun, and in the chat feature that you'll get to use and stuff like that. The community that maybe some people that aren't on like Telegram and whatnot, you can have some conversations and hang out also over in this on the website. And so look forward to the prizes. And here we are. But this has been quite the process, just getting like this stuff trademarked so that we can move forward, and then getting a couple other things that we don't need to go into in depth that are just business stuff. That was just like, please go through, or when is this going to happen? And then it comes through, and then we got to go to the next step. And it's been awesome in the sense that when stuff comes together like this, even just this slide deck, I'm super stoked for the animations, and then seeing the actual logos that we have trademarked for ourselves, and the community helped purchase these and helped build what is behind this whole website. So let's get to it. So slide number 2 first, and this is first podcast with the GG Co. Greatest Game Company.
Indeed. So yeah, I think if people saw the original sort of pre-launch show from a couple of weeks ago on your channel, the Gong show is one of them anyway. The URL itself was redacted from that one because we were still building the website, and which is a good thing because like you say, as soon as we went live, man. I mean, I guess there's like an obligatory sort of scanning that occurs when any new website starts broadcasting, but I mean, we had some strange activity that was that came after us after we did the live show, and announced, I guess, the sort of soft announced the URL on Tuesday. But it's live now. The arcade is live, and of course on the YouTube channel, the first of the I don't know what you want to call it, the concert series or whatever, with all my background music that I listen to.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't checked out Choose Violins, it's freaking awesome. I used just one of the shorter compositions, if you will, from Biscuit Risker Records. And to see some of the stuff that we've just kind of joked about, or like have just like ideas that have come out while we've done like the dojo shows and some of the collaborations that we've done in the past, to see it come into like reality is so much fun. And some of you that have been along on the journey with us, you're getting to experience some of this. So some of you know, some of you don't, but regardless of where you're at, following us and supporting this work, it's going to be fun no matter what. But it's really cool seeing it kind of come together, and that has become kind of like my workout jam. No lyrics to get stuck in my head, and I can just jam with it, and it speeds up and it slows it down, and it's got like a really good flow state to it. So when you're working or whatever, I'm not even just trying to pump it, I'm legitimately like stoked about it. So Biscuit says he might do one of those a month. Don't hold him to it because he's got a lot of things on his plate, but man, that turned out really well. Really fucking awesome, bro.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, I thought it did turn out pretty good. I mean, like I thought the rendering was, I mean, I do like that sort of like old school screensaver vibe or whatever, but I do agree, like the logos and stuff. It's cool to see it start to to get built and to be sort of made public and whatever. So we're really excited about the website too. Let's move ahead if you.
Right. What I just wanted to like add on, because I brought it up, I think last night when we launched this, as far as like made it public, we didn't really know we were going to do it on the dojo show. We didn't know what we were going to do exactly. And I was like, let's fucking do it. And we did it. And then can you just give a little more input into what happened at that time? Because it was already technically live, just no one really knew about it, right? So it was a website that was active, live, and sitting there at some point. But then around the time that we announced it, that hour of the first announcement, all of a sudden we got almost 800 hits.
Yeah. Yeah. From, like Hong Kong, and which I guess there's a lot of VPNs and stuff out there, but I don't, oh no, my light went out. I don't know necessarily like how it's hard to tell whether it's someone using a VPN or some machine using a VPN. So there's some stuff you can trace back to like Amazon Web Services, which I assume is just like these machine crawlers that grab everything. But there's definitely traffic that popped up pretty big in that hour after that show, where it was like obviously people, penetration testing the site basically. Which that's one of the main reasons why, and one of the things that I'm really stoked about, the way we were able to get this built is, assuming the site does get hacked, none of the user's information is available there other than the screen name that they choose in the parlor. And just the screen name. The email won't even be on the site. So their email and everything stays with Stripe.
I think
and the
that's important for
authorization.
people to understand that it's a little bit different of a process. You don't have a we don't need to get fully in it, but when you sign up, you're not doing passwords and doing all this extra stuff. The way it's encrypted and the way that it's set up, your information's not on there. We expected the site to get attacked, and sure enough, as soon as we announced it certainly did. But anyways, getting back to this to get through the deck here, First Light, greatestgame.co, it is live, and we're going to get into the first part of the arcade here in a little bit. Yes, then we talked about choose violins. Let's move on to the next part. It is live now. The paywall, the archive, the games, bound, public, and taking real members. And people have been signing up, and we've been super stoked. Everything's functioning pretty well right now. We'll continue to improve any little things that we gotta fix along the way, but it's working out, and we're stoked as people join in. And Crystal was reaching out and saying that she played some games today, and people are getting really stoked. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and I appreciate everybody that signed up already. And yes, to the, what is this? Eternus Transmographus. That's an interesting name. Right. Yes. I mean, we're developing a bunch of different video games across multiple platforms, including native install games down the road. But right now, these are there's web games and some parlor games and stuff for our website. And the Wiki, I suppose, is sort of the flagship application right now that is available.
Right. It looks like we got a couple people that maybe are new or just coming across this. So what is going on? We'll show you snapshots of all of it. But yes, a lot of games in the works. We'll get to that once we get to the arcade part, because there's a game that I'm really excited about that Biscuits hasn't even thought exactly what he's going to do with it yet, but that's the fun of it. I was telling him that my mom wants puzzle games, and we want word games, and these are just the simple ones, but we got literal arcade games and other things in the works, along with vertical dramas and other things that I've kind of played with on my end of things, with making little characters, having animations and stuff like that. All of that is going to be a part of this, along with leading back to the actual evidence and all the stuff that is in the wiki, which includes, we'll repeat for this show, the Epstein files, some of the stuff from Hunter Biden's laptop, Doge and the things they found there, pardons done by past presidents, various information, and in a way where the tool will help you find some of the stuff you're looking for your own research. Or it's like when you play the Hangman, you will have something pop up and you're like, I don't even know what that is. And then you go to the wiki and you find out more about it. And you're like, dang, it starts putting some pieces together that maybe you didn't know. So anyways, here we go. I'll let you
Well, so this is, we kind of skipped ahead, but yeah, this is sort of the rundown of the site, which is the archive of the wiki, and then the games in the arcade. And of course, we'll be updating the wiki all the time. It is a process to, because we're doing a very robust validation of all of the data and information that makes it onto the wiki. Specifically because this is a corporate venture, and we expect, I hesitate to use the term lawfare, but I guess because it's cringe, but it's the reality of what gets waged on people, and businesses that are trying to do things which are, I guess, out of the ordinary with respect to what businesses are supposed to do, which, as far as I can tell, is just seek money at with no regard for the quality of the product or the impact of the product. But that is not what we're doing. So the wiki is sort of the kind of the central foundation of all of the games. Every fictional universe that will exist in all of the games that we're going to release over the next couple of years is going to be an abstraction of the reality of this wiki reveals about our real world. So it's not going to be alien invasions. You know what I'm saying? It'll be Freemason invasions or something. It's not going. It's. I mean, because I've said this many times, and it still pisses me off when I happen to see a movie or like, an advertisement for a video game, or I see if because I don't play a lot of video games other than the ones that we're building now, but it annoys.
Oh, I might have lost Biscuits there. You there, buddy?
That all.
You kind of blanked out for a second. You froze for a second.
Yeah, sorry. Am I back?
You're back.
So I say it kind of makes me angry that all entertainment is basically a means of distracting from the reality of the situation. And so I want to make games that are an abstraction of reality rather than a distraction from it.
Exactly. And so, no, we're not hiding anything behind a paywall. A lot of this you can go research for yourself as far as the information. But the way this is put together and the tools that are available back there are something that no one's ever put together like this. But it all is connected to a lot of the entertainment stuff that we are creating. Some of it's simple games like we're going to get into with the Hangman, Bingo, and some of these things. Some will be smaller arcade style games, but it'll all connect to these truths in a way that I don't think anybody's really done.
And as far as the end game, I mean, I can't tell you my end game because that would compromise it. But I can tell you that, if you go back and watch any of the conversations that we've had, it's not about me retiring happily from all the money that I make. I can assure you of that, because I don't think that's going to happen no matter how much money I can squeeze together. So this whole venture is not about making money or monetizing something that's publicly available, because in the first place, what's in the wiki, the content, can be described as publicly available, but the literal, weeks and weeks of 12 and 14-hour days of work that it took me to put it together is something that I don't think the public has the bandwidth to achieve. If they did, something like this would already exist, because, as you say, it should already exist. It should be very easy to see how all of these companies, people, charities, and criminal organizations are connected via the public record, because, as I say, it is the public record. But what happens when you try to actually build the tool to do it, what you find out is that as connected as they are in real life, they are purposefully disconnected in the public record by means of obscurity, by means of making the search tools, by making the indexing, by making the actual work of going to the DOJ website, to the federal government websites, to the state government websites, the court websites, and extracting this information and then compiling it in a way that is actually legible and understandable to people that aren't trained in legalese bullshit, is a job that I don't think most Americans have time to do, considering that the economy and the political environment and the media and everything else is literally meant to make sure they have no free time whatsoever in between putting food on the table and paying their taxes. I mean, so I'm not trying to resell what's on the public record. I'm not trying to monetize it either. It's costly to overcome all of the mechanisms that have been put in place to obscure all these connections and to make it seem like, because these documents are out there, somehow the justice system is working. But the whole point of it, and I think what people will see if they read through this wiki as thoroughly as I have had to in building it, is that, the court systems are basically improvisational theater, and the discovery period and the pretrial hearings, etc., are the production meetings for the eventual production, which is the trial or the settlement. And something going to trial is exactly like a movie getting made, because it gets shown to everyone and it's a showpiece. And I think, you know, people say that. I mean, people say that on political streams and stuff, and people have been saying that since the whole Q thing, but people just keep saying it.
Right.
You know, and it's like at some point you have to like prove it. You have to have the substrate to say, here is why I know, not this is what I feel. And here, this wiki is how I think it's the best tool that I can come up with, that we've been able to come up with. And I mean, we, like the community, because everyone here helped to build it. Or a lot of people here helped to build it, I say. So, you know, I think that this, and I mean, I want to make this free, but the fact is we can't afford to make it free right now. I mean, it's not, you know, it hasn't been cheap getting to this point, and we're very fortunate to have had so much support from everyone. You know, but it's been, I mean, Dorian has invested, we've invested in this thing ourselves too. So, I mean, it's, in order to sustain it, it needs support, but we're not asking for people, I think, to just pay for, hey, here's what's on the public record. That's why there's going to be games and everything else and lots more. And that's why the YouTube stuff will be free and the content here will be free. It's a really a holistic approach. And the fact that it's a business is, I mean, inevitable, because America is a business and you can't function really without being incorporated in this country. Sad to say.
Yeah, when you watch like a lot of people that have like large followings are COINTELPRO, or they've been leveraged or blackmailed, or they've just been tempted and they've been given sponsorships and they've been given scripts, or they have a handler or whatever. And so a lot of people, like, you go on to something like Google and they're going to change their algorithms all the time to, you know, what you could find, what's accessible. Government documents, they just drop a shit ton on you. So how do you search through them? You depend on people that have the teams and have the time to do it. Most people that are working 9 to 5s are taking care of their lives, don't have the time to put stuff together. This tool, this wiki, as Biscuits calls it, has been put together in a way that it should make it easier for everybody to do the research. But also what's back behind there is not just that. It's not just publicly available information, but it's a tool to search through it. And we'll keep compiling and refining it so that we all can do research together. But these games will also be fun to play, but also connected to the actual truth. So there's a lot of things that you're going to get from becoming a paid member back behind here. And it'll also keep the community more safe. If a Fed wants to get back there, they're going to pay. So you get some assholes that are trying to freaking scrape the site or come in here and try to like get in here, then you're gonna pay. So good for you. But I can't wait to show you guys some of this. Just hold tight and we'll get through some of this. But I'm freaking stoked. So ready to move on to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Oh, and then eventually we will have, you know, like kind of merch and stuff like that. But people that are paid members, there's a couple people that have signed up for the forever. Freaking awesome. 17% off of all of that. So there's going to be all kinds of perks, and we'll keep adding stuff to this, and it'll always be getting juicier and juicier, if you will.
Right. So this is just basically some statistics regarding the wiki, and it's above 1,500 now, actually, because I realized that I had made the mistake. Yeah, sorry, Colin. I had to fix my light. It went out. The battery died. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, we're up to about 1,500 now. I realized I had omitted the presidential pardons from the Biden and Trump era, which was a large omission. I mean, you know, Biden, which I didn't even, you know, this is the thing. You feel like you're a well-informed person, and then when you actually like start reading thousands and thousands of documents, you realize like, wow. I mean, I had a, you know, tip of the iceberg type situation, but I didn't realize that that Joe Biden had pardoned so many people. You know,
right? How many did you say Joe Biden had fucking pardoned?
Well, how many do you think Trump pardoned in his first term?
I'll let you guys. He asked me this before. I honestly can't even remember, but it was like, if people want to throw a number in, we'll give you a little bit. But some of this stuff is staggering. And so that's what I'm saying. Like the compiling of some of the information that I think will be beneficial to people that are doing research, putting stuff together. You don't have to rely on, I don't want to put any names out there because I'm sick of naming some of these people for this broadcast purposes. Your favorite influencer, they usually work with a team. They have money, they have funding, they have handlers that make sure that they have the money, and they become your fucking go-to for the news if you don't trust mainstream media, and who does anymore. But you go to these alt media freaking guys that turn out to be COINTEL grifters. As much as they might look like personalities that are telling you the truth, they'll tell you some truth, but they'll tell you their version of the truth. They have the tools to do this. We're giving you the tools right here to be able to look into this for yourself. AMK is saying 90. Miss Cajones is saying 3,000.
Okay. Well, Trump pardoned like 260 something, if I remember right, maybe 265 in his first 4 years. And then Biden pardoned like 4,300 in his 4 years. And that's not including like the thousands that he pardoned for federal marijuana crimes that were in prison, right? Because there's two kinds of presidential pardons, I guess. Well, there's several kinds, but there's two sort of main buckets. One, yep, you win. You win.
Okay.
Well, some of them were with auto pen, Valerie. Yes, a lot of them, I guess. But the two buckets in general, without the auto pen complications, are what are they called? Individual grants and then group grants. So like when Biden pardoned, who was not really the president. So when I say he pardoned, it's just theater. But I'm saying the act of pardoning everyone who was convicted and in prison because of federal marijuana crimes, right? That's nice, Mac, nice. That's that's a broad grant where everyone who is pardoned isn't specifically named in the document. It's just, yes, Price is Right rules.
Right, exactly. Hold on with one of these guys, and over here, so this is a separate studio, as you can tell. It looks a little different, got a little bit different style. So we got the GGCO flow. You back? We're still bringing the gong to you. Oh,
Happy
and what
birthday,
were you
America.
telling people that come over to the Greatest Game Studio YouTube? If you're in there, put ! gong.
Yes. Well, you don't have to do it today. I mean, if you go over there and if you just go to the Greatest Game Studio YouTube channel and type in the chat, I'm collecting all the names and we're going to put you on a wheel and give out some prizes at the end of the show.
Yeah, we'll do some prizes.
Right. What was I saying?
Presidential pardons. There's different.
Oh, yes. And so then the individual grants where it's actually your name on the pardon. You know what I mean? So it's written just for you. Biden did four. Yes. Well, Hunter Biden was called a planetary pardon. I mean, this motherfucker got pardoned for an entire decade.
And you were saying that only other president to do that, or the last one at least, was Nixon?
Nixon. Yes. Nixon. Unbelievable. Hunter Biden got pardoned for an entire decade of crimes without ever being, whether he was charged for it or not. And Anthony Fauci also pardoned. This is the thing that pisses me off. I saw the other day on YouTube some recommendation of Tulsi Gabbard, she
was the DNI.
Yeah, right? Yeah, the former. Is she still or is she gone? I don't know.
But she was leaving, I think, because of some complications with her husband. I think is what it was. He allegedly has like cancer or something like that. I think is what it was that I saw, that she was having to step down to take care of family business. That's what she said. I don't know.
So Tulsi, yeah. Well, I'm not going to, whatever. Of course, there's some mitigating circumstance where people are supposed to have pathos and empathy for her and not talk about it. Here's the issue that I have with Tulsi Gabbard. Recently on YouTube, she did some 30-minute video, allegedly. It could have been AI, who the fuck knows? But it was from her channel, where she's talking about Anthony Fauci. And Anthony Fauci has been pardoned, presidential pardon. So talking about Anthony Fauci is as useless as Congress talking about MKUltra the other day. It's over. It's old news. Nothing can be done to Anthony Fauci. He got away with it. Move on. Same with Hunter Biden. It's done. The man had a decade of get out of jail free, not even get out of jail, do not go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Don't even get bothered with it. Any crime that he committed, murder, treason, rape, anything, everything for a decade.
That's what that is. Well, it's like
Unbelievable.
unreal that you could even do that for like a family member. You think that there'd be like a conflict of interest or some shit. I don't know. I don't fucking know. It's all fucking theater anyways, right? Because the powers that be are the only ones that are going to bring justice. And are they bringing justice? No, but they're doing this right in our face. So when we compile this shit, say they do change the algorithms on something like the search engines, Bing, Google, all these fucking things. We're going to have it here. And we're going to keep adding to it. And we're going to keep reminding the fucking world of what they're fucking doing and make it easier for you to look up shit. We're going to get into all the shit, man, like 9/11, all that kind of stuff. It's not going to be forgotten.
Right. And all of these, so I have all of these files also, and we're going to put them on. I'm not going to say what file share thing we were going to plan on using, but there'll be a couple places where all of the actual source research that's been compiled for all of these pages, including the millions of pages of Epstein files. No pictures, none of that, just the text content, because that's what I care about, is the actual language and the reality of the situation as it's documented in the public record. And I mean, I understand, believe me, I understand, I won't say better than most, but I'll just say I understand the issues with documentation that have been produced by the Department of Justice in this country. I mean, I believe, as you know, but I'm going to say it the first, because it's our first show on this channel, and I will say it wherever I'm at, from, it does not matter to me, courtroom, Congress, I don't care. The United States federal government is rampant with treason. And until that treason is remedied, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we don't have a country, we have a corporation. And it's not constitutional government. Elections aren't real. I mean, these are the things that I believe are demonstrably true, not the things that I believe are true.
You could call it a blanket pardon, a sweeping pardon, the technical terms or whatever. I mean, it's basically unheard of, but you're talking about everything.
Well, there's only, I mean, I don't even know if it's, what I read was that it was referred to as a planetary pardon whenever they pardoned Nixon. And that generally, I mean, here's the deal with a pardon. The Supreme Court ruled that being pardoned by the president is a admission of guilt. Right? So to pardon someone for crimes that they have not been charged with is in itself sort of, I mean, it's a contradiction. If you've not been charged with something, then there's nothing that you can admit that you're guilty to in order to get pardoned for. Bingo. So I mean, the whole thing is, and look, I mean, I'm not espousing the rightness or the technical nomenclature of this stuff. I'm telling you what I learned from getting government documents, from websites on the DOJ and from the whitehouse.gov with respect to the pardons. Hunter Biden's pardon was essentially unprecedented, with the exception of Nixon, because he was pardoned for crimes that he was never charged with. And there were several other cases on a smaller scale than the decade that Hunter Biden got, like Fauci, where people were pardoned for crimes that they'd never been charged with. And as a result of that, the specific crimes couldn't be named. So it is just, this person is pardoned of all crime for this period of time.
It's just unprecedented. So I don't even know if they have a freaking term for it. I mean, you just say a blanket pardon. These people, well, Hunter Biden, let's just keep him as the example. He's been pardoned for a whole decade of anything. He can't be charged with a damn thing. What the fuck do you even call that? That's like fucking, I don't want to use the T word right now, but I mean, like, damn, dude, that's your dad. Pardon you for everything. And we've
From
seen it, just a glimpse. Most people have seen glimpses of the Hunter Biden laptop. I mean,
right.
you could go after him for all kinds of things. And then what is he doing on Air Force Two going into some of these countries? What was he doing on the board of Burisma? With a lot
You
of
could,
other children of prominent politicians.
and that's what's so crazy is that when Hunter Biden's laptop leaked in 2019, he could have been he should have been charged with treason then. I mean, I got banned from 4chan on hundreds of IPs for posting links to Hunter Biden's laptop image and to contents of Hunter Biden's laptop, including I called the cell phone numbers of the congressmen and of the federal employees, high level, director level people who had their cell phone numbers in Hunter Biden's email records on his laptop because I wanted to see if these numbers were real. And I mean, of course, I just called on several of them. They were still active cell phone numbers and people answered. And I said, who is this? And they didn't tell me. They seemed very annoyed that I was calling them and they just hung up in every case. But they were cell phone numbers that were associated with people like Valerie Jarrett and so on, and congressmen, people that were in Congress at the time. I think that the Hunter Biden laptop, well, of course, they said it was all manufactured by the Russians, which would be, I can tell you from looking through it myself that I can't imagine that something that complex could be manufactured because there were just, thousands of emails, which were mundane, the same type of shit that's sitting in everybody's email inboxes. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about spam and things like that. I'm saying real interactions with people, that have corporate jobs. Because Hunter Biden's a lawyer. So, there was emails.
You got a lot of emails that are dated and shit in there, right?
Right. Those emails.
How do you manufacture a bunch of that shit? And then if that's in there, then you would be able to fact check it or whatever you want to call it.
But that's what I was trying to do, was fact check it. And as far as I could tell, it was absolutely real. And so that whole period of time, like 2019, President Trump was in office and he could have done anything he wanted to Hunter Biden based on that laptop. There was evidence of treason. Certainly there was evidence of fraud internationally with the Burisma stuff. And then domestically with the way that he was handling his money with respect to like the Beau Biden Foundation. I think some of those emails indicated to me that some of the people working for the Beau Biden Foundation were somehow blackmailing Hunter Biden for something. That was the impression that I got. And
that's crazy.
We could go back through it and dig it up and look at them if you wanted to, but it's just the implication. I wouldn't say that there was anything outright that was stated in there, but the point of what I'm saying is that it was so rich in terms of the content being apparently the record of a real person's electronic communications that it seems insane to me that even an intelligence agency would be able to manufacture it and leak it the way that they did. But I guess it's not out of the realm of possibility. So the thing about the Hunter situation that it blew my mind back then, but it really blew my mind when I got into reading the stuff about the pardons is that, you think like that guy was just walking around, traveling around free, doing whatever he wanted for all those years, could have been arrested at any time for all this stuff. And they let it go. And now he's just pardoned by a guy that stole the presidency with a fake election. And all of these courts refuse to look at evidence. It's just crazy. You cannot read through everything in this wiki and think that the people in the federal government are taking themselves seriously. They're absolutely putting on a show.
Right. And they proved so many things. They proved them in the sense that they put it out there and they say that it's real as far as Doge and people that are dead getting benefits and voting and all this stuff's been put out there, but no one held accountable. No one that has the jobs that is your responsibility to make sure that shit doesn't happen, doesn't get in trouble. People get let go over their jobs, but some of the shit is like changes everything. Changes everything for local elections, for local legislation, federal situations. All this shit changed, and people aren't held accountable here in this country.
I'll tell you the thing, yeah, absolutely. And it's so insidious because I said the other day, I don't think people have the ability to connect the dots between the fact that their gas prices are high and the causal relationship that has with the fact that the United States federal government runs on a blackmail economy. Those two things seem like, how could you even connect them? But I'm telling you, they are 100% related causally. And to give you an analogy that I think sums that up pretty well, if you think about someone in the federal government, an employee of the federal government, let's say, well, maybe that's not a great, let's say Dan Bongino, okay, when he was working for the FBI or the Secret Service, or anyone in that range, you know, from deputy director on down to whatever agent in any agency. If you imagine a person doing that job and you make it a truth for them, you make it something that they have empirically determined is true, that treason will not be punished, then it necessarily follows that incompetence will certainly not be punished. And maybe that's the biggest impact of all, is that because the people that are willing to do treason at the highest levels are beyond reproach, literally above the law for decades at a time, in Hunter's case, because treason is never punished, incompetence is never removed. And so the good people, if you can find them in the government, which is to say the people that are so oblivious to how corrupt everything is and that think that somehow the job they're doing is contributing to the constitutional republic, are delusional. Delusional to think that they can go into that system and be competent and exist. What will persist in those systems, in those levels, if you're not doing treason, then you better be doing nothing, because that's the only way to stay out of the way of the people that are doing treason. So I think we've got a distribution of traitors and mediocre employees that makes up the entirety of the federal government. And that's a bad mix.
And we could bash on a bunch of them all the time, but like, yeah, Trump's not bringing any justice. He ain't arresting anybody.
What's what I say? So Hunter Biden.
They're all complicit. They're all fucking complicit. They just play different sides of the fucking bird.
I personally had Hunter Biden's laptop contents in 2019. I personally had the submission data for the COVID-19 validation batches, which were leaked from the EMA in 2020, that said there's no clinical trial data. All of the animals in the clinical trials died. I mean, all of this information was available long before the impact hit American citizens. That COVID stuff was publicly available. And I mean, you get banned from posting it on every website. You get banned from posting it on 4chan, for God's sake.
Yep.
And Hunter Biden was walking around in 2019 while people had his laptop, while people like me could read it and say, this is treason, this is fraud. You don't have to be a district attorney to read through that laptop and say, I could charge this guy and make a whole career out of just his crimes. It was simple. And nobody did anything about it.
Right. But you had a whole bunch of hype. You had the Q Anon hype. You had a bunch of people rising up, acting like there was something going to be done. And now what? No, everybody needs to calm down. It's all handled behind the scenes, all being taken care of behind the scenes, all this hopium. And not today's talking about the Delulus, the Salulu at this point. Bunch of delusional freaking nutcases out there pushing a bunch of bullshit. Here we'll have a bunch of the facts. And so you'll be able to always remember and find the information that you need. And you don't have to depend on COINTELPRO grifters and social media influencers. We're not a big freaking channel. Well, hopefully this will grow to a certain degree, but at the same time, like the core that I've had the pleasure and honor of like hosting like podcasts and having people on, doing a lot of community stuff, people coming together in live chats, bringing us information, their concerns, people that they think are of interest. We added them to this wiki, all that kind of stuff. Like we're here. There's people use the word a lot, remnant whatever you want to call it. There's a small group of us that really actually do care, and we're looking past the psyops and the co-intel lying grifters that are out there selling you bullshit just to get to the next stage of the game, which seems to be all about the technocracy, the technology that's rolling in data centers and all that stuff. So anyways, this information is huge, and it's like no one's doing anything about it, so they're all complicit. That's all I can come up with as far as that goes. What can we do? I don't know, but we should at least know and be armed with the truth, or be armed with the tools to point to that. And then when you're talking about all the things that we've talked about as far as communities and stuff, how can we reach our family? My husband thinks I'm nuts. My wife thinks I'm crazy. All those kinds of things, you know, where like your own circles won't believe a damn thing you have to say. Well, here, we'll create some games. We'll create some tools to be able to put stuff together in a more easy and digestible way. You don't have to worry about a pundit. You don't have to worry about some influencer that they can immediately look at and judge the book by its cover. Now, they're probably a bunch of fucking co-intel fools anyways. Just hear the facts. Look at them. Like, fuck, how do you explain this? These emails, how do you fucking explain the stuff that was fucking released about the Epstein files in certain ways? They'll do big dumps, and then you're depending on fucking a bunch of influencers to tell you what the truth is. And then just move on to the next topic in a week or two.
Well, I tell you what, I challenge anyone to read all 15 pages in this wiki, which is comprised entirely, or at least every page references at least one government sourced website. I challenge anyone to read this entire wiki and then tell me that the United States federal government is run by anything other than a blackmail economy. I will go to court. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the point.
Right.
You know, that's the point of building it this way, because I'm telling you that is the fact of the matter. And it is demonstrably so based on research derived entirely from what in the wiki would be considered a tier 1 source, which is a .gov source. The data exists, the data is validated, and I'm sorry that it doesn't fit into a Twitter post, except to say the federal government has long been compromised by a blackmail organization that is international and is engaged in all sorts of crime, but treason is rampant. That's the point. And, you know, this wiki really was meant to be a foundation of knowledge for us to stand our company on and be able to take a principled stand while still maintaining a corporate entity, which is a delicate thing to do in the United States of America, because I tell you, it's hard to justify paying taxes to a treasonous organization like the IRS. You know, it's hard to justify it. And for me, anyway, I hate the thought of it. You know what I mean? Because I think that everybody in that organization should be arrested immediately. Any American willing to work for the Internal Revenue Source is not an American, if you ask me. I mean, my goodness, God hired 87,000 people. I hope that they're working remotely from somewhere outside of this country, because I cannot imagine an American citizen, a fellow countryman or woman of mine, saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I just got a job with the IRS." I mean, what? Those have got to be CIA crimigrants taking those jobs. There's nobody else in this country that has any excuse to go to work for the IRS. It's disgusting.
Exactly. And if you didn't know Biscuits, now you do. That's the other take. And that was some of the fire behind doing some of this. But here we go, getting into some of the ways that we're trying to think of creative ways to reach more people. The Hangman. Tarot, 3 cards, verdict. I played some of this game. It's very addictive. It'll lead you into the wiki files. You'll uncover like people, events, organizations that you might not even have heard of, and then you see the connections and you see how integral they are to the whole system and how everything is connected. Like it says, you're only a few hops away from everybody like that is involved in this shit. The corruption is just all connected. It's all blackmail economy.
It's crazy, man. I mean, it's been a wild ride building this thing. If you like, that's the thing. If you think I mean, I consider myself to be pretty well informed before I started this project, but it's been humbling in a lot of ways because my goodness, man, it's wow. It's just overwhelming, the density of the connections and the networks and how long they've been operating, doing basically the same things with only the technology changing.
Right. So that's one of the games, and then this is what we're getting ready to show you guys. The arcade is open. Number station bingo. And I was playing about this. I didn't even realize some of the aspects of bingo. It was funny when we were looking at this earlier. But we'll get into some of this. But you got a game, you got the live draw, you got the lounge, people can chat. So if people are all hanging out in here together, you can chat while you're playing some bingo. And this is just the start. See some of those games? Pedesteroids, I'm telling you, Biscuits, you got to make that happen. I don't know what comes next. You got your timeline. But damn, dude, I'm looking forward to playing some Pedesteroids. And then we haven't even gotten to like meet up with Sabrina Wallace and talk about some of the stuff that we need to enter into the wiki that includes all the biodigital convergence, human 2.0 that you see over here, all this stuff that she's been exposing and some of the documentation white papers that we want to put in there to have that added to this wiki file. Like I'm saying, we're adding the kind of stuff that'll help people see what we're talking about in the podcasts that remain free. We will continue to put out content, PDFs, and information and podcasts and have community chats and conversations, discussions about all of this to bring awareness.
Yeah, the bingo game is fully built because it's very simple, but there's a very specific, well, first of all, one of the donors previously asked if there's going to be bingo. And so that's why there's bingo. So if you, that's honestly why there's bingo, because it just worked with the rollout plan. It's a pretty simple game to make. And, really like, this is a layer 0 type of thing, almost like a beta. I mean, I'm so thankful that we have so many people that have helped us get to this point that they've been so patient, and I feel like they will help me make it better as we're going along. So, this is very pared down version without the persistent, so you can win some rounds or whatever, and you'll get rewarded with some shekels for winning the rounds. But when you reset, it'll go away. It's not persistent yet. That part of the arcade's not live. It will be probably about September. And then the rest of the games will start coming online. Human 2.0 is probably about 30% built. Some of these other ones are further along than that simply because they're simpler. Pedesteroids is a concept, I guess I'll say, but I suppose the name is popular enough that we're just going to have to make it real. But some of these are just going to be like arcade games that I find to be nostalgic and fun, and I'm going to try to figure out a way to just make it not a distraction but an abstraction, like Pedesteroids. You know what I mean? But in terms of like gambling and stuff like that, no. I mean, maybe, but it's not going to be for like real money, and there's never going to be like a buy more money. If you run out of money, you'll just go and refresh your money. But the way that you refresh your money is going to be free, but it's going to be funny and on brand for us. I think you're going to have to. Well, I don't want to give away any secrets, but
right.
But yeah,
it does make me excited because I grew up in the 90s and we had like the arcades and stuff like that still, and you had the leaderboards and you came in and you were eating pizza or whatever it was, you're hanging out with your friends and you were just getting as many quarters as you could from wherever, your parents or whatever it was, getting a bucket of quarters, just chilling, drinking some soda and playing some arcade games and seeing what you could accomplish, playing games together, playing games against each other. Mortal Kombat, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is one of my favorites, those kinds of things. And then obviously we've talked about pinball, but the physics of it are a little bit challenging, so we'll see when we get to stuff like that. But we got a lot of games in the works. There's certain games that you're simultaneously building at this time, not just arcade games, but like legit like high graphic games that'll take it to another level. But when we first started launching these ideas too, we were talking about collector's cards. So it's rigged. Just played bingo. It's rigged. All right. Yeah. Well, talk to business about that. We're gonna get into bingo. So anybody that has a link or whatever, we'll get in there and we'll play together. It'll be kind of fun. But we want to get into the collector's cards and then take that to the next level. So we're trying to think of like people, like I said, always talk about like, how can we reach people? Man, we're going to give you so many different avenues. I don't know what you were trying to get at, Eternus. No, we're not here to like promote gambling and stuff like that. Like you're phrasing things in a way, bro, where I don't know if you're trying to be like a troll or what. Like it's, come on now. Anyways, this old school arcade style though, like I'm freaking stoked to see like the way that this looks and what's gonna come of it.
Yeah,
What's up, art?
Yeah, simple stuff. And no, it's not. We're not trying to like sell. It's not going to be microtransactions and all that shit. We won't be doing any of that.
It's rigged. It's rigged.
It's rigged.
Bingo's rigged. What ad was when you came in? I don't have control over Rumble ads or whatever. That's what I'm saying. Some people attack me for like some of that stuff. It's like I don't have control over that stuff, and that's why another reason why it's like creating our own website and not having all that crap in there, man. You try to look up like a news story, and you're bombarded by ads more than you are the context of whatever the news story is. It's like what the fuck?
It's crazy, man. Like I told you, whenever we started working on the site, it's real important to me to have it set up so that nothing that we keep on the site is putting anyone that's a member at risk if the site were to get hacked. Like that's been my primary driver in developing this thing was if we can't do it that way, then we just can't do it, because it's not worth risking it, because I do have the feeling probably that we will maybe be under more pressure in that regard than than average, I guess I would say, because I'm paranoid. But one thing that I discovered in trying to, because when you build a website, there's a plethora of different dependencies and tools and things that you can use, which are open source, which are free and are, sort of industry standard in terms of independent development and stuff. And in almost every case, everything is packaged in a way where it seems like it's just implicit that you're going to soak up every bit of data that you can from your users, that you want to build a database that has everything that, all of their cookies, all of their, whatever you can acquire. That's how everything is set up, so that if you go and just build your own website with, any of these like freely available tools and services or whatever, you're going to be getting all of that data from your users. And if you get hacked, all of that data is going to be exposed. If you want to build something that doesn't acquire all of that data, it's actually harder. The workload is way higher because it's basically just apparently is not done. I found it to be very shocking. That it's essentially very non-standard to build a site that requires authorization but doesn't suck up all of the data from the users that are utilizing the authorization.
Right.
So,
I watched a short video where it was like back in the day, you had your, you always have your reset passwords or your whatever, but it was like 2026. Now it's reset password. Okay, now you got to answer all the security questions. Okay, now you got to do CAPTCHA. Now the CAPTCHA is like tricking you. Like it's fucking hard to like line up certain puzzles, or they have like words and numbers that you can't hardly read. It's like they're making what the fuck? I just want to access this shit that I thought I had access to. I can't get into it, but hackers can. I'm still working on trying to get my PayPal shit resolved. Not that I want to get into that story, but the way that this has been set up, like it's refreshing because it seems like every business is in the business of data. Data is gold. Data is the most important thing I think in the world right now. And every business seems to come in and they just want more data. They want you to add extra emails. They want you to add an authenticator app. They want you to add all this shit that adds another area or vector of an exploitation of a hacker to be able to utilize to get into your account. And this is simplified, and we do not store anybody's personal information. And Eternus, I totally get it that you're skeptical. I get a little, I don't want to say triggered, but like the way some stuff comes at me, and it looks like you're like throwing words out there that we haven't said, and that's not the case. We welcome your questions. We welcome your your skepticism, but sometimes I've had a lot of people come in here too that act nice and then they turn on you and they make you out to be something that you're not. This is not for the purposes of gambling. This is for the purposes of having fun while also pointing people towards the truth.
Yeah, there'll never be any real money gambling or any microtransactions for in-game currency or anything like that on this site. If you have a membership to it, everything there will be free. The only thing that won't be, everything will be free in the arcade and stuff. The only thing that won't be just given out. So in-game currency and stuff like that, you'll be able to get it if you're playing a game like Bingo or something else that requires it. But like leaderboard and achievements and stuff like that you'll get them from gameplay. But they're not going to be pay to win or anything like that. I hate all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, I don't know, man. I grew up with video games and then I grew out of video games, but I still like games. So it's not that I grew out of playing video games. It's that video games grew into something that sucks for the most part.
And waste your time.
Yeah, I mean, the games
that I can't go anywhere in the world except maybe the gaming community. And there's way better gamers than me because they spend all their time doing it. But you can't go out in the world and, you know, put it on your resume or whatever that I've put in hundreds of hours of playing Titanfall or Call of Duty or some shit. It's like, this actually means something. This is like community building, but at the same time, like it says, like it's all connected into this wiki, this truth.
Yeah, and this is
in a way that'll make.
Hi, Allison. I hope your email and stuff worked out. Allison was a donor and got set up just before the show, or I tried to get it set up just before the show. Anyway, hopefully it worked. I forgot what I was going to say again. Forgot what we were talking about. You know, I'm so burnt out from working on this every day for the past 40 days, but like I'm just going to turn this computer off this weekend for real.
Yes, Biscuits needs a little break. He's been working his ass off to bring all this to you. Like I can't even imagine because I don't do this side of things. I'm running, you know, my other channels and stuff like that. I'm working on this community that I've been working with for like multiple years now, and it's exciting to see something like this. It's like when I first started out, it was just like all these guys that are out there, you know. The guys from the side of things that I came from, I don't need to get into all their names or whatever, but the Truther movement that is the Liar Liar Pants of Fire, a lot of the people that are in that, they've made millions and millions, and they've created nothing. They've created no organizations to help victims of human trafficking or to help them to get justice or to fight back on that system. They've not created any kind of organization to really like give back to a community that's been raped by federal government that is just wanting more and more taxes from them. They've done nothing but enrich themselves. And this is a thing that can arm us at least with knowledge and a tool to help wake up more people or to never forget the shit that is going on currently, but it has been going on for a long time. And it's been done with very minimal money and mostly lots of time and effort being put in to create. I mean, I just love to even look at this thing and the way that the style that you came up with, Biscuits. Like, I'm freaking stoked, man.
Well, thanks, Brian. So, yeah, you know, we call it number station bingo. And I just want to, because bingo is a simple game. It's rigged, like you said. I mean, you know, it's not a game of skill. I even put an auto daub feature on there, so you don't even have to pay attention except to click bingo if that's what you want to do. But, you know, when I was a kid, like I read about number stations, and I assumed that everybody in America, when they were young, wanted their own permutative steganography emitter. And like me, because I sure did when I was a kid. And now I've got one, because if you've ever heard of a number station, there are plenty. You can go listen to them now on like a web SDR or something. I think the buzzer is still active. But these are like radio stations that just broadcast encryption keys, encrypted data, which can be used with one-time pads. And then there was this one in particular, the Tension station, which the federal government has absolutely said was used to communicate with spies that were deployed from Cuba domestically into the United States and were receiving encoded messages from this seemingly innocuous broadcast of repeating numbers over the radio. And they're using permutative steganography, which allows you to encrypt textual data into strings of numbers. And if you have an emitter where you can broadcast those strings of numbers, then you have the ability to broadcast encrypted data. Now, whether there's anybody to receive it or whether you choose to do it, that's up to you, I suppose. But now we have one as well with our bingo. So it's Number Station Bingo, where we could just play bingo, the rigged game, all the time if you want. And it is not a game of skill, and it runs 24/7 on our website, and it is constantly broadcasting strings of alphanumeric characters, 363 bits maximum per game. So 45 potential 45 potential textual characters encoded in every Number Station Bingo game. Maybe they're in there. If you work for the FBI, if you work for the CIA, I suggest that you go ahead and take advantage of the value of a lifetime membership so that you can monitor my Number Station, which broadcasts 24/7 and can emit up to 45 characters of encrypted data per game. So please, federal agents that want to monitor what I'm broadcasting, I implore you, don't hack my site, just become a member. And you too can receive whatever it is I'm broadcasting, which maybe is probably just bingo numbers. Thank you.
I love it, man. Super troll. So here we go.
Just the pricing up. Now it's down to this part. Yeah. So look, the pricing is what it is. I don't know what else to say. The founders, I mean, we do have to pay Stripe fees and stuff. So the people that donated and became founders, we appreciate you so much. And you have lifetime access, which if anybody has any trouble with the access links and stuff that have been going out, please feel free to email me. Let me know if you have any problems. Email me at info@getgg.co if you encounter any bugs ever. Email me if you have an idea, because again, the bingo was someone's idea. Someone wanted bingo and now they got it. Pedesteroids, I don't know exactly what it is yet, but we're going to get it, and it'll be fun. If you're a lifetime member, you'll get access to everything here and more stuff down the road, because I haven't forgotten about the trading cards and all of that stuff. It's just that real manufacturing takes real investment. These cards are not cheap to manufacture because we don't want to manufacture them cheaply. So we want to get this online. We're going to do the collector's cards. I mean, we've got some of the designs and stuff. We have other games which are going to be native install that are going to come out down the road. We've got a fiction series coming out. It's there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we've been, because I've been working on a lot of these things for like 6 years, on paper. So the pipeline is getting ironed out now, where we're turning these things into software and into products faster and faster.
Right. And we showed some examples of some of the collector's cards in previous shows, but you'll get a taste of that more as this thing goes on. And as I've said, there'll always be free content, free PDFs, free podcasts. We'll show examples of some of the stuff that we're looking through on the wiki, some of the new things as we update them. And here you go. You have another little roadmap here of other things that are coming that'll be part of what you're buying into as far as like participating in this community that's behind a paywall, more protected. You would be shocked if you actually understood how often we get attacked. Sabrina Wallace goes through this. She's done a similar thing with the fourth wall, but yet still putting out content, still doing podcasts, still sharing truth, still doing shows, still trying to create community and keep our communities safe. And if you're just hanging out with friends and you guys are both part of this website, you're like, man, let's just go play some bingo. You just go in there, play some bingo, and just get in the chat, and you're in a safe space, and you just have some fun. And that's
again,
just the early part of this thing. There's going to be so many games added.
Yes. Well, Eterna 6 years is specifically for 2 games, which we haven't really talked about on here, but will be out probably, one of them in 2027 for certain. which I think is probably going to be about 220 to 300 hours of gameplay. And it's sort of, I guess you would classify it as an RPG.
There you go.
But that's sort of, I would consider that to be my, I won't say masterpiece, but it's like my main project.
Right, and some of the
my
stuff
passion project. The passion project, I'll say that.
Project. It's massive, guys. It's massive.
It's a big game, but there's pieces of that game that tools, well, an engine specifically that are going to be used for other products, which our members and founders especially will have a very unique opportunity to participate in, which I'm excited about. And that's the Whale Fall series, which we'll talk more about here in the coming month or 6 weeks before it premieres. But I'm really excited about that one but I don't want to talk about it too much yet.
Right. I will say though that I tell Sabrina that we wanted to have a Zoom with her and talk about it. She was super fucking excited, man.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this one too. I mean, it's an ambitious project, but I think that the engine works. I mean, and I think it's gonna be something that it could be very entertaining for all of us, I think. And that will be free, of course. That's just entertainment content or whatever.
Right. Entertainment content continues. Like I said, we'll keep doing our shows. And yeah, we're going to get some work done with Sabrina Wallace too. It's going to be great. So here we are, the Greatest Game membership, Greatest Games at Greatest Game Studio on YouTube. We're going to play around with TikTok, but I haven't got into that, man. I'm not saying I'm not here to promote TikTok or anything like that, but we're going to try whatever vectors we can to reach some people and get out there. So thank you all for tuning into this simulcast, and let's show you guys some.
See you, Colin. Have a good one, buddy. See you, Colin.
Yeah, man. You work late over there, so take care of yourself, buddy. Yes, and there's some of this stuff. It's Biscuits' story, I guess, to tell as far as like him putting all this stuff together and not thinking maybe that it would ever actually come to like fruition or be able to be reality. And then we met and started podcasting and working together, and this community has really rallied around this. And man, it's just like my honor to be able to work with you, bro, on this, because this is
likewise, man. And your community has been an amazing, even the stuff with the business notwithstanding.
Since do a little VR. Oh my god, you guys are talking about some stuff. Now here's the thing. Here's what's funny, and this is I love it, Charlie. You're freaking hilarious. We'll see what can come of this. But I've thrown things at Biscuits like, oh man, it'd be cool if we could do this. And I'm just like, ha, ha, ha. And then he's like silent, and I'm like, maybe he didn't think that was funny. And he's like, I think I could do that. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff this guy is able to come up with, or some of the things that he's already done to a level where like he has like other ideas or components that he thinks that he might be able to connect to, and then he's been able to accomplish it. I'm like, man. And this has happened in, honestly, like as long as it feels sometimes when we were waiting for certain things to go through with like the trademarks and some business stuff and whatnot to kind of fall through. And it's felt like a long time. Like the amount of like just the art, just the style, just the being able to work that website and functionalities the way that it does. It's been freaking awesome, because every once in a while I just get a text like, bro, you available? And I'm like, yep. Jumping on a Zoom and showing me something. I'm like, fuck yeah, like people to see this shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. Well, I appreciate the enthusiasm, and I appreciate your community. Even before we started doing this, it's a nice place to be, because there's not a lot of. I mean, look, you don't talk about TikTok, and I mean, yeah, I don't really know anything about it. Never had a TikTok until we set this one up for this business. But I'll tell you what TikTok didn't do was ban me the instant that they saw my name, like Facebook did. You know what I mean?
So, I might still try to get us on Facebook too, just so that we have like, I've got the Substack, I've got the Rumble, we've got the YouTubes now, but to just try to get into some of these other areas where people are at, and then share content where it's like, maybe it'll just be like maybe entertaining to a point, but then they'd be like, what is this? And then look into it a little bit more. And the next thing you know, they're getting sucked into like the Hangman. They're getting sucked into playing some bingo. They get sucked into some of these things because some of it'll be free demos. And then there'll be more things that we put out there. And they'll be like, maybe they'll actually like the critical thinking will start working. Logical thinking will start working. Now it's hard because the algorithms are throwing the dopamine shit at you constantly. And they know exactly what you love. They be throwing all kinds of like MMA shit at me, like some of the comedians that I've been paying attention to. And I just get sucked into it. And I got like, no, I got to turn it off. But we're going to be part of that and hopefully pull them out of that distraction that eventually more and more people are going to realize I am losing my life to this shit.
The vision, yes, dude. I mean, the vision that I have is basically, if you find us on TikTok because you see a funny short, if you find us on YouTube for the same reason, or if you found us on Rumble on a live stream, or however you find the website, I want people to end up on that wiki reading about something that matters to them and seeing how it's connected, basically, to Jeffrey Epstein. That's the point. Because everyone in this country, every American has had a unique set of circumstances and challenges throughout their life and their career. And everybody has dealt with some facet of this system. And I'm telling you, every American that loves the Constitution, the idea of the constitutional republic of the United States, if they had the right context, would understand who and what organizations have been really their enemy their entire life. In the moments of your life as an American, when you are facing some sort of system or institution that is villainous, I want people to understand that it's because
You're getting blanked out, bro. You there?
Are we back?
We're back. You paused for a second. It looked like you were in deep thought, though. You were in deep thought.
Oh, good.
Good. You were dropping on us. So that was a moment for everybody to really hone in on what Biscuits is saying here. And hopefully you'll be able to finish here.
Well, I just say, I want people to understand that if you've ever faced an institutional villain in your American life, it is because the federal government has been compromised and functions on a blackmail economy. That's the reason. And you can find the links to prove to yourself and to anyone else, including within a courtroom, I think, in this wiki. You can find it. And that's all I want, is for people to have a pathway to it. And if you're interested in it and you find our content funny, because it will be, it will be an abstraction of this reality that we're all stuck dealing, this alleged reality that we're all stuck dealing with, you'll find your way to it. And hopefully people will understand what I've come to understand, what you've come to understand, and what I think most people in this community have come to understand, which is that, there's really only a few systems that are actually impacting all of these systems that affect us so negatively, and mainly it's that blackmail economy.
Absolutely. All right, let's give people a little look-see again for some of the newer people that might see this or are here right now that haven't had a chance to take a look at the wiki or some of the other stuff that we have shown in the past. Here is the wiki, what it looks like. It looks like a damn universe. And you can see the little legend down here, truth, federal conviction, yada, yada. You can see that down here. We're going to roll through it really quick, but you can come right in here, move it around, hover over these little fucking balls, and they're all connected. So we've got it turned on so that it shows the connections. You can turn that off and then hover over it. Her Majesty's Ambassador in Tel Aviv. You'll find something in all this. You can move it around. You can click this up here, show the connections, kind of like a spider web. See how they all connect there. You have light mode and dark mode options. Dark mode is my favorite. Move this thing around. You can grab something and pull it, and you see the connections come with it. I just love some of the functionality of that, and that's just the look and feel of it all. But then you can search. You can search things.
Search for Biden. Search for the Biden pardons. Because we were talking about that earlier. Yeah.
Presidential pardons. Here you go. And if you want to see more, you got to click this. So boom. Right here. Biden's presidential pardons is a working collective name for the documentary record of the executive clemency granted by Joseph R. Biden during his presidency, which was January 20th, 21 to January 20th, 25. The record comprises, and you can go through all of this. And here is like, here's the 80 pardons and 4,165 commutations. The largest clemency record of any U.S. president by total number of acts. Approximately 96% of those acts were issued in the final fiscal year of the term. He did a lot on his final fucking day. And those were the big ones like Fauci and I think his son and all that kind of stuff. He did it like right before he jetted out and got done. But here you have the dates, various information. You have certain names. I don't want to go through all this, but then you have links. So you'll have a lot of links that, are the proofs, the tier 1, T1, as you can see, evidence, tier 2 evidence. This stuff is broken down in such a way, and then direct links. So you have connections. And you see, as I fucking hover over all this shit, it'll pull you into those to show you how these connections are all made. Here's the Clinton Foundation.
And it's, yeah, I mean, you can see like the connections also, the closer to the center that any of these nodes are, the more heavily they're weighted, meaning the more they're mentioned inside those documents. So all the gray nodes in the center are the various corpora or document troves, like the Epstein files, DOJ records, MK Ultra files, whatever is in there, all sorts of stuff, congressional records, etc. So if someone is mentioned dozens and dozens or thousands of times in those things, that's in some cases, their node will be pulled closer to the center
right,
than the ones on the exterior. So
you can just get sucked into this thing, and it's freaking awesome. You can do Wiki leaps where you like search like some of the ones, like I said, that I'm a little closer with. You could do like Scott McKay and say Michael Flynn. Go. There you go. Connected with, to the Q Anon movement, which now Michael Flynn will act like he wants no part of, and that it's stupid, and anybody that believes it's an idiot. Yet he still will be on podcasts with all kinds of the Q people whenever he can. And he's been on podcasts directly sitting next to Charlie the Fraud Ward, who pushes the BS quantum financial system that he says that he's the spokesperson for, and yada yada. We can get into all that. Like I said, I know a lot about the Q stuff. I investigated that heavily, but you'll see a lot of these guys in the alternative media that are connected because of that. And Michael Flynn was pumping the Q stuff earlier on, selling merch and all kinds of stuff. So anyways, there's your quick little showing again of something you could get sucked into, but this is the whole freaking shebang right here, and it will continue to grow and be added to, man. And I freaking just love it. As you were showing me this, as you were building it, I got to see the steps and the progress made, and it was like just fascinating. Yep, that's what we have to deal with in this, especially here in America, right? All over the world, really. But damn,
it's a shame, but that is the case, man. It's unreal.
What's up, Jackie? Glad that you're here. So we gave you a little glimpse of that if you hadn't seen it, and that is in a way a foundation of it, because like Biscuits was saying, as we showed there, tier 1, tier 2, it's all out there. It's what they put out into the public, and we should hold them account to what they put out there, right?
That's it.
Like GGCO serves the important function of guiding the lost/deceived out of the Plato's proverbial cave that we brought up in yesterday's episode. Bravo, guys! Thank you, Charlie. And yes,
I mean, that's high praise if that's the case. That's high praise to get somebody out of Plato's cave. And boy, I mean, it's a good analogy, Yeah. Plato's cave.
Right. I get it. I get the skepticism, and I appreciate you being here and having these conversations, because this is what we've worked on for a long time. When we started doing podcasting, this wasn't really a discussion, and then all of a sudden Biscuits brought something up to me, and I was just like, yeah, let's fucking do it. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And then the more it happened, the more excited we got, and now the excitement is here, and I've just been so excited to share this with people. and people that'll watch this replay and that'll eventually come on and see what we're doing and decide whether or not it's your choice. Come on. What do you think about the mission? We're doing something here. We're trying something that people have not done, and we've done it with minimal resources. But the biggest resource being the community that has rallied around this. So here is a snapshot again of the Hangman. And if you haven't seen it, there's that. Some of you have been playing this and telling me about it. But anyways, you got it right here. So the Hangman. We could throw out letters, but we just want to roll through this and see what we get. See if we can come up with what we got. All right. So you miss one, and then you get a little, you get some factoids here. It's a person, 1889 to 1894 era, tier 1.
That's a classic right there. That's a classic from way back.
You know,
it's got to be. No, it's just got to be some old Freemason, I imagine. Has it got a mystery flag? Yeah, definitely some old
Mystery
Freemason.
School Network. Okay. Okay. Biscuits, you choose a couple.
What was the guy's name that wrote that? No, it's not Albert Pike. I don't know. Probably, I don't know. You know, RSTLNE. Do the Wheel of Fortune. That's how you roll on Hangman. Right. You got no clue. Okay.
Wow.
I don't know. So I don't know. Some of these old Freemasons from like.
Okay, we got to be able to get something.
William. It's got to be William.
Right. William.
Salter? No, because he got an A already.
Is anybody in the chat? I can't see it. If anybody has it, fucking nail it. William.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. There's so many hundreds of these old Freemasons from like the 1900s that are in there that I don't remember all of them.
Sulfur.
So that would be a good name for a Freemason. Ooh.
Oh, wait. March 18th, 1863 to November 6th, 1941. Democratic politician, member of the New York State Assembly, 1889 to 1894 of the United States.
What kind of last? So it's. This is just like you just got to.
Somebody say it. Silver.
You just.
Wait. No, it's SU. It's SU.
S-U-L.
Salter.
Maybe, that's you. Maybe it's. I mean, you got to go with a T if you haven't picked it already, I guess.
Oh, did I not pick a T yet?
I don't know. Did you? I can't see very well.
Here, let me blow it up. Are we missing it? No, I did.
Try D. Nagi says D.
Oh,
wow! We never would have got a Z.
All right, and so now here. And I think I'm going to have to, because of StreamYard or whatnot. So now you have the name. Fuck, I can't believe we didn't get it, but whatever. Now you can go to the next round and play in the Hangman, or you can read the archive. Now this is going to open. I'm going to stop share, pop it back open, and go into Solzer.
I never would have guessed the Z. I mean, that's like the last letter you ever pick, you know?
Right. What the fuck? William Solzer. Let me look him up. William Solzer. Should have went right to it, but let's get him.
Did it not open up right to it?
It didn't. It opened up to the membership thing.
Oh no. Okay, I gotta fix that.
Right.
That was. I did have a little bug with that before. I thought I already got it fixed, but anyway, I probably put like, I don't know if you remember, but I built that little graph about the Freemasons in terms of like the percentage that they were disclosed in positions of government since the start of the United States.
Freemasonry.
Which I guess, I could put all that stuff on the site. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good thing to put up there. But in the course of doing that, obviously, I ended up making pages for all these Freemasons.
Right. And there you go, man. You can go straight to the freaking Freemason node. Solzer.
There's a lot of them.
Oh, but man.
Only about 20% of federal employees historically up until the 70s, were overtly Freemasons. Although a lot of that was I discovered that a lot of the people that were overtly associated with Freemasonry in the public record, it's only so because of obituaries and what they put on their tombstones. So,
Right.
people back in concurrently wouldn't have known necessarily until after they were dead. It wouldn't have been part of the public record when they were working.
Right, and it seems around the time that like television came into play and stuff, and things became more communication got out to more broadcasting, I guess, to the world or whatnot. Then they stopped kind of publicly putting that out.
It was around the same time as Kennedy's assassination, the moon landing, and television. So I don't know which which one of those was the most. Although I guess television was in the 50s, so maybe television wasn't really because it was in the late 60s to like 1972, and it just basically stops.
Yeah, they stopped putting it out there so much and stopped wearing it as proudly because I don't know. It's like maybe and also they probably knew what was coming because they're part of the planning of what comes next. Unveiling of technology and the next thing that's coming and blah, blah, blah. And we don't want people to know because then they're going to hunt us down. Or I mean, theoretically.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're right about that. They do that that COINTELPRO stuff for sure.
Right. So you guys ready? We'll play a little round of bingo. And if anybody that's already back there, actually, should we? I guess we can open this up, and then we want to do some prizes, right?
Sure. Yeah, we can do some prizes. I got some.
And remember, the full arcade launch will be September. That's when we'll have like leaderboards and stuff like that. But let me enter into here. Make sure this is showing up. This is what we're looking like, man. It's so freaking awesome. We look like you're in like a Freemason lodge. This is the game. This is something I didn't realize. So I always thought about bingo as being, like just 5 in a row. But this is the style we're playing. We're playing the diamond. You can put it on auto so that it'll automatically like kind of do it. And then you can hang out in the chat. What's up, y'all? So if anybody wants to hang out with the Booma in the chat, then you can move this around. I'm on a Mac right now for me. I played this on the mobile and it worked really good. I did have to refresh it once when I wasn't seeing my stuff pull up into the chat. But if anybody else, there's 4 in the hall. So if there's other people here that want to say what's up or whatever, playing some bingo.
Correct. We're playing some bingo. Should we give out the prizes now or what?
Yeah, we can start putting the people onto the wheel for the prizes.
It's done.
You already got it set up? And then we were having a little bit of fun earlier because I didn't really know how bingo actually worked. I didn't know that you had all these different options or whatever, and you could do a blackout and all that kind of stuff. So I looked a little bit stupid earlier, but anyways, Biscuits was showing me some things, and I didn't realize that bingo was so badass. And I looked forward. What's up, Nagi? What's up, baby? What's up, Brandon? See, people popping up. I love it. Biscuits in the house. But
so cool. Let's show them the chat features first, or we can show them the chat features, or we can let's do a prize, and then we'll show the chat features, I guess.
Right.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah. So you can. We'll go through the chat features since you got it open. Basically, you probably will find the moderation a little bit heavy right now. It'll get refined as we go on, but there's some stuff that has to be moderated. For instance, I can't be letting anybody send command line instructions and mess like that on here. So that stuff's blocked. URLs are blocked, and then certain words and stuff are blocked. And I'll get it back to the point where it's like reasonable. But none of this is saved. It's an ephemeral chat. You can make your screen name whatever you want. I mean, obviously, if the FBI does sign up, they can capture this chat, and do whatever they want with it. So don't put yourself in a bind. But if someone's annoying you,
like say Nagi's annoying me, I right click, I piggy Nagi,
right click,
and then I don't have to look. Can I turn it off, Like if I
Yeah, you
piggy
can
him, I
turn it
can
off.
turn it off. Okay.
It's not permanent. Yeah, piggy him
All right.
up. There you go.
So look.
Now,
So now
Nagi
says
say
something.
something.
Now, whenever you say anything, I don't even have to read it, Nagi.
Right.
Unpiggy.
And so turn it back on for a second. So if you have a lot of people that you can put them in your pig pen by just saying hide the oinks. So click on the hide oinks.
All right.
And then now anybody that's piggied won't show up at all. So you could just remove them from your
I don't even have to
chat
look at your name, Nagi.
Right. But then you can add them back and you can de-piggy people whenever you want. So you are your own chat moderator in here, right? Which means like if someone's annoying you or whatever, or they're saying stuff that pisses you off, you could just put them in the pig pen and be done with it. And you don't have to worry about it again. And you can hide those from you. Right.
You can just not have to listen, and you just laugh because he's just a little piggy, or you can just get rid of him, or you can bring him back and be like, I was just playing. I was just playing, Nagi.
So that's one of the features to make sure that people aren't getting annoyed. You can reverse the so mobile is another issue, right? When you try to build a web app that works on mobile, it's tough. But the way the mobile works is your bingo card will be at the top and then your chat will be down below it. So you can fit it basically all on your vertical screen, but you need to invert the chat so that the first message comes to the top instead of the bottom, which you can do with the newest top button there in the chat menu. And that'll flip it upside down. So you can see both on your phone with that mechanism. And you can turn off the snap to the newest and the reset layout button. If you get your chat window messed up or stranded, you can reset the layout of the chat window. So that's basically the chat features. There are a couple other features in the top left if you want to change the dauber style between our logo or the monogram or the color. You can do that, and then you can select to have your card auto-filled, auto-daubed, or you can do it yourself, whatever. Right. So simple game, simple implementation in terms of the chat and stuff.
Right.
And I understand
on FTD.
Brandon, can Brandon confirm that the mobile piggy function works? Because long touch on mobile is a little bit challenging in the controls. If it does work, that's good news. I thought that it worked. I tested it on my phone, but my phone is literally a potato from before Hunter Biden was above the law.
I was playing around on mobile. It was working pretty good, but I don't think I didn't piggy anybody because I was still learning how to do this stuff.
Okay. Thank you,
I did notice that it's hard. You can't like tag somebody. So like, how do I can tag
tagging. Yeah. You if you add them, you should be able to.
I got bingo. Nagi got bingo, man.
Nice.
Attaboy.
100 shekels for you, my friend.
Now you got 100 shekels. See, and then you'll get like when you get shekels or whatever, it'll pop up here in the top left. And then once we have like the leaderboard and stuff like that, we'll have stuff like that. Maybe I don't know how it would work. We could do different things like weekly or whatever, daily, whatever the fuck we come up with.
And so that's one of the things I want to say, like in terms of the development and stuff that's going on, because I understand that, there are video games that come out all the time, which in terms of their complexity and their playability and whatnot exceed the fun you can have with a rigged bingo game. I get it. I'm just saying, look, we're developing something that we're going to build into an entire ecosystem of, arcade games and other things. The way we're going to develop it is you can see the ethos inside this bingo game because it's a playable game with a functional chat, and that's layer 0. That's layer 0.
Tag. Sorry. I looked up how to actually do it, and you just click their name, and then you can tag them. So if I want to tag Brandon,
it's a right click for the piggy and
right
left click. So I see you still haven't read the instructions. So
Correct.
the thing is, like, I want to be able to build stuff that people can use while we're improving it, and not have them experience, negative impacts of the improvements ongoing. So, the way the site is structured, we can add new games without changing old games. We can update a game without negatively impacting the persistent stuff in the future, like your account and things like that. So this is the layer 0. And I mean, again, I'm so grateful for everyone that donated before this was available, and to the people who have already signed up since, because this is the foundation, you know what I mean? And it's possible because of everybody that's been kind enough and has believed in us to get it to this point. So I'm just super grateful.
And this thing's running 24/7 wherever you're at in the world. Like if you're hanging out.
Just like that number station in Russia that's been going since the Cold War. It's just always broadcasting these numbers, man. What could they mean? Who knows?
And there you go, man. Like the Wiki you can get sucked into that. You got the Hangman that can either suck you into the Wiki, or you just keep playing the Hangman and having fun with that. And then now you have bingo, and you have a chat function where people that are hanging out, like I said, like some people in the Telegram, hey, you want to go over and play some bingo? Let's go over and play some bingo. You do manual mode where you're actually, paying attention a little bit more to what's going on here. Or you can have it on auto. So when it hits bingo, you're just like, bam, bingo, baby. But you're mostly just chatting, hanging out with your friends. Or if you're playing by yourself, you do it however you want. You got a little Freemason Hall going on here.
Well, I was going to say, with respect to the Freemason Hall, there are a lot of Masonic symbols that can exist on a bingo card. And, eventually, when we get to version 1, I'll just tell you now, because like I said, I consider this version 0. I mean, there's a bingo called Blackout, where you just have to get every square, every number on your card. And I'm going to take Blackout out, because that will give you every possible symbol. But there will be, you'll get a little achievement if you unlock all the Freemason symbols over time. They're not going to be bingos, they'll be like little Easter eggs for you. And if you get them all unlocked, you probably get something cool in the little ecosystem. So it's all sorts of stuff like that is planned for the future layers as they come out. And that's just for this one, this one sort of surface in the site. We want to make it into something that is basically like an amusement park for people that have tinfoil hats,
Absolutely. And it's freaking awesome. Linda, we've only been going for an hour and 45 minutes. No big deal. But you're here when we're about ready to give out prizes. So let's do some prizes, baby.
Let's do some prizes. Let me share.
We're going to do some prizes, give out some free shit. This is going to be awesome. Get some more people in there. Anybody that did donate in the past, you should have gotten a link so that you can get in there and be a part of this right now. So we honor that. We didn't have to do that, right? People donated to help build this, but we're now that we built it, honoring what you gave us as a donation, so that you have that much time in here to hang out and experience this. We're honoring that as a gift back to you. And now check it out. We about to give out some prizes, baby.
This is everybody that commented in the YouTube chat, as far as I can tell. If you're not on there, hit me up in the YouTube chat real quick, and we'll get you added on there.
Right.
I think that I captured everybody.
And I pinned the Greatest Game Studio YouTube.
Oh no! I clicked it by accident. I already clicked it. Dawn Davis, you win. We'll have to do another one. We got to do another one. Dawn, you win. You win a free month. If you're already a member, then I got you, and we'll get it added to your existing subscription. If you win here and you are not a member, I need you to just email me at info@getgg.co. And all I need is an email that you want associated with your account. You don't have to have Stripe or whatever. It doesn't have to be your name or anything real. Just need an email so that I can get it. You'll receive back an email from the site that will take you to a link that will get you everything you need to get logged in. There'll never be a password or anything like that, and you don't need to put in any information. So, Don, you want a free month?
Don D, baby, yeah. Don D was just on with Charlie and some of us last night. Don, now you can get in there. And like Biscuits was saying, it's scrolling down below. So it's info@getgg.co. And all you need is an email. And then you just will click into your membership for a free month and get to hang out in there. We're not storing anybody's information, not asking for any information. It's not going to be stored on the site. This is about as good as a business can be ran, as far as like not just being like a corrupt corporation that is taking over everything. But there you go. And if people have already donated and you have a certain amount of time in the paywall and you win here, it'll just be added on top of what you've already given. Right. We appreciate you all so much. So info@getgg.co for you, Don, and anybody else we get into here.
I can't believe I prematurely gonged there. How embarrassing.
Premature gong.
Yeah. This never happens to me, Dorian.
It's never happened.
This has never happened before, I swear.
All right. Do we need to add anybody else? Is anybody else chiming in? I was gonna say before he premature gongulated or gong, however you say it. I did pin the link to the Greatest Game Studio YouTube in both on my side of the D-Minded Moves on Rumble and the YouTube. So if you wanted to come over and get added to the list to potentially get a free free month right now is what we got. Please come over, join the chat, say hi, and you'll get added to this wheel and possibly win a free month. So you can get back in there and beat Nagi's arse at some bingo, play some Hangman, and check out the wiki a little deeper than maybe you have.
Indeed. All right. So
gongulated.
I don't even know how to continue now that that's happened to me, you know. I feel like it just completely threw me off. I'll tell you what, it literally startled me because of that sound. Like I was trying to click on the pop out, you know, the YouTube chat or whatever, and it straight up startled me because
that's what they all say.
I built this goal. We used to use that Wheel of Names, website for our wheel, but now we have our own GGCO wheel. But the gong noise on it is shocking when you're not ready for it. I'll tell you that. I feel like the old one was like meditation level, chill you out. And this one's like alert the village type gong.
It's always a little frightening when you prematurely gongulate.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's hard to come back from that. Hard to recover.
Come back from that. But we got to do some more gongulation and let her rip this time knowingly.
All right. Now I got to find it. It's buried underneath all these. Here we go. One more time.
I expect an awesome meme from you.
Here we go.
Gongulated. Biscuits really gongulated.
See what I'm saying? It's so loud. Oh, okay. Allison.
Yeah, she did get set up. She said thank you. So this will be added on top of it, Allison. You get another free month for donating, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that won't happen again. I got it out of my system now. Thank you.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Okay. It's real. We're doing this. Sorry, Don.
This is a business, man. This is a business. We're in work. You know, how would you feel? If you prematurely gongulated on a Zoom call at work? Because that's what just happened to me.
Yep, internet's forever, man.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's how the wiki was born. I mean, it's like
Dawn's just here to help. You know, she's cool with it.
You got to roll with it when things like that
If you're going to
happen.
prematurely gongulate, it would be with Dawn. Apparently, she's just here to help you through this, Biscuits.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I need the help. So how many more months do we want to give out here?
Let's go again. Let's see what happens.
One more. Third time's a charm.
Let's do one more free month coming someone's way.
Uh-oh. All right, buddy.
There you go. Eternus.
So shoot me an email at info@getgg.co with the email you want me to set it up for. You could use an anonymous email. It doesn't have just be the one you got to use to get the link to log in. So you need to keep access to it, but we don't need your name or nothing like that.
Here. Eternus is not here, but hopefully you will either come back and we'll let you know, or you'll see the replay and contact info@getgg.co so we can send you that. And Eternus was a little skeptical of this stuff, so this would give you the opportunity to come in here and take a little look-see, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll be back.
All right. You almost got it.
Well, you want to do one more?
Let's do one more. Let's see what happens.
I failed to remove Eternus, so you're gonna have to give me a second here.
Okay.
I might have to reshare, actually.
Okay.
Or we'll just spin it. If it lands on Eternus again, we'll do another one.
Oh, please.
No. Oh my gosh.
Let's give it to Monica. Let's give it to Monica. Because Eternus should have been taken off.
Yeah.
Let's give it to Monica. She makes some freaking awesome memes. We have a great time. It's rigged, I know, but we're making up for it. We're gonna give you a free month. You just gotta send us an email that you want. It just confirmed.
We confirmed that is rigged. I just rigged that in real time. So yes, that's rigged. But whatever, we can do what we want.
We can do whatever we want.
That's right. We can do whatever we want, man.
Nate's pissed. But yes, Monica, you get it. You get it. We're gonna give just send a little email to info@getgg.co. You'll get Biscuits on the other end. He'll take care of you. You know what I mean? You got gongulated. Congratulations.
Congratulations to everyone.
And we'll do some more of that. So like any of you that are watching the replay of this, that'll be the benefit. I know like some people are doing holiday stuff, regardless if you know, whatever you think of the holiday and whatnot, you do family stuff, hanging out, cool. But if you catch this on replay and you show up to the future lives, I'm not saying we're gonna do it for every single one of them, but we get stuff like this, man. We're trying to give back as much as possible. We'll keep doing free stuff. We'll keep doing all the things that we have been doing. And then you guys are helping build something that could reach a lot more people. And that's what this has been all about. When I was doing this channel, man, you can only do so much with podcasting. You can only say so many things. You can only fire people up for so long. And then you get exhausted because there's no progress. And it's like, how can you rally people and you can create something and put in the work and the hours that Biscuits has put into this, the hours that we put in as a community to like come together and come up with ideas. This is ideas coming into reality. And it might bring more people into this community or inspire them in their own communities. Like I've said before, this is something that other podcasters that don't even have to be associated with us could utilize for their own research and all that kind of stuff, or think groups or just people that are trying to come up with more ways to maybe wake up family members and friends and people that they're associated with that think that they're nuts. When you're not, you're here with a bunch of nutters, but the real nutters are the ones that are just turn a blind eye and continue on as NPCs, or as the phrase that what we're talking about is NCs, the non-creatives out there.
Right. Yeah, and we'll do, I think, you know, we're going to keep building on this. Like I say, one of the things that we're going to build to go along with these live streams is, you know, a mechanism that we can have some trials that will be active during the show where people can go to the trial link and set it up for themselves and have access just while the live stream is going on. Because, you know, like, I think this is like you say, if you've got people in your family that are like, I don't believe this stuff, I don't want to hear about this stuff, you know what I mean? I don't want to talk with you about it because you get too riled up, it gets heated and people don't like that or whatever. Give them this for a Christmas gift. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not going to be anything on the arcade or on the wiki or on the Hanged Man or on our site in general that is hyperbolic, that is overly editorialized, that's filled with our opinions about this or that. It's going to be fully researched. All of the shows that we do for the GGCO Investigate series, which is coming up, are going to have all of their sources available. So the wiki is something that you can send to someone as a gift that will come with games, you know what I mean? But it's all going to be not meant to make people upset. It's not going to be meant to cause an argument. It is meant to stop arguments because it's meant to point people at the best truth or approximation of it that an American citizen can get so that they can make a decision about what, you know. So like if this, I would be so pleased if this was something that someone could give to someone in their family so that they could read on their own time at their own pace without anyone yelling at them and see, okay, well, this person is a part of this company and now they're a part of the government and now, you know what I mean? They're giving contracts to this company and they're connected to Epstein and they're connected to so-and-so and they're connected to so-and-so, you know, without anyone there to say, oh, I told you so. You know what I mean? I told you so, because people don't want to hear that.
Right.
People don't need to hear that. I don't want people to lose an argument while they find out the truth. I want people to find out the truth in a place that they're comfortable and safe, and they can read it and then have time to process and understand it without anyone, even their own family member who's trying to tell them the truth because out of love. It's still an argument, and you still got to process that you've been deceived and that you've been wrong about stuff. And, you know, with someone yelling, I told you so, or that type of stuff in your face, or trying to say like, you know, I proved you wrong, that type of thing, it's bad energy. You know what I mean? And it's bad. I think it's pedesteroids is funny. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be tongue in cheek, and it's not going to be offensive to anyone, and on purpose. It's not going to be offensive. It's going to be real though. You know what I mean? There's not going to be anything about it that isn't a joke that we're not allowed to make legally. And that's the point, you know?
Right. Satire is truth. Satire veritas. And then AMK asking here, can I ask, does this type of way of relaying information bypass algorithms? Yeah, we're not. Yeah, that's the great thing. Like, I can't say it for the platforms that we're simulcasting this on because they got their own algorithms. But within our ecosystem that we have on the website, that's us. That's however we put it together. And the way that Biscuits has designed this to make it as easy as possible for people to find. So it's not going to be stuff that's going to all of a sudden be hidden by an algorithm or whatnot. No, it's controlled by the mechanisms Biscuits has put in place.
So I will, with respect to the algorithm, thanks. With respect to the algorithm stuff, the site is as defended as we can make it against, you know, AI crawlers and bots and things like that. But again, in terms of your what you look into on the site, your IP address, I guess, will be through your ISP. And the IP address that you go to, which would be our site, will be known at your ISP. But we don't collect any information about anybody, and we can't therefore sell information about anybody. But beyond that, any information which we're obligated to collect, we would never sell. And when I say obligated to collect, I mean I have to have an email address in order to have a mechanism for people to be authorized and for there to be a public space and a paywall space. So we have to have some sort of identifier, and that email is the minimal that we can do. And if you are conscientious about the email that you use, then theoretically, you could never have any personal information on that site, and you'd be able to read the entire wiki, and no one would ever know you had done it unless you went to some of the other sites which are linked as sources. And that's sort of the point. I mean, there's not going to be, hopefully there's not going to be anything on our website that will even be worth hacking in the first place. And in the second place, if it does get hacked, the priority is that nothing to do with any of the people that are using our site would be stolen. There's nothing I can do about platforms like Dorian says, like YouTube or Stripe or any of these big companies. Their internet security, whether it's real or farce or whatever, that's on them. I can't do anything about it. But they're enterprise level providers, and presumably they have better infrastructure and more money to invest in security than we do. Yep. And more, better skills than me. Obviously, I mean, I'm a very uneducated man, as it were. So presumably Google can do a better job of protecting its users' data than we can. Therefore, we don't want our users' data unless we have to have it, So, because that's the best way to protect people, I think, is to just not have anything of theirs that can be stolen.
Yeah, and find another business that's doing it like this, because every business, part of their business is gathering as much data on anybody and everybody they possibly can, to whether they sell it or utilize it for marketing purposes for their own means.
Right.
So that's what we got for you guys. Excuse me, but it's been 2 hours of fun and education. Did you have something else, Biscuits?
No. I think that's it for me, man. I appreciate it so much. I'm really excited. I'm glad that I appreciate everyone that signed up already, and of course everyone that donated even before signing up was possible. I can't thank you enough, because I do feel really good about the Wiki product in terms of its utility. And I can't think of anything other than those darn Pandora papers and the Epstein files, and what a pain in the ass it is to actually get any information from them. And I hope that people will appreciate it, as they get in there and use it. And I'm looking forward to expanding it.
Right. Exactly. It's a tool, and everybody can utilize it. They'll throw so many freaking documents, a lot of them redacted, but they'll throw tens of thousands of documents on us. And then it's like, how do you get through it? So this is a tool to search through that, see the connections, make them, improve your research, share it with family and friends, and have a little bit of fun. Who doesn't want to jump in there and beat Noggy's butt at some bingo? So
Which is, yeah, and just confirming, it is not rigged, but it could be a permutative steganography emitter. I mean, I guess theoretically it could be rigged, although I don't know what would be the purpose, but it also could be something else. I assert to you that it is neither, you know what I mean? But maybe it's both. I don't know. Who knows, man? But the bingo, it will get better. Thank you, Sherry. Appreciate it.
Looking forward to seeing you all in there, and then more on the shows to come. This was the very first show with the Greatest Game Company, Booma and Biscuits, and yeah, good game, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Bye, everyone.